Hi everyone, it's your woman of faith here, Kelly. Sorry about the shaky phone. So today I want to talk about recovery and triggers and how you can overcome the triggers and stay recovery strong. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got triggered very badly yesterday um, by my aunt who called me screaming at me, and it turned into a screaming match. And then she hung up the phone on me, and immediately, come here, buddy. Sorry, my cat wants to come up on my lap. Come here, buddy. Come here. Sorry, Ziggy wants to come onto my lap. He likes to help out. Um, it's my good boy. That really triggered me, and for about 5 seconds, I wanted a drink. Very badly wanted a drink. And thankfully, I was at my former boyfriend's house, and I, even in my head, I said, no, I can't drink. I'm not going to go back to that life because God has blessed me with such a really great life now. I mean, I have difficulties, but He's always with me. So, my ex was with me, and a former boyfriend, sorry, Dave, if you're watching, I apologize. And I was able to talk to him about it, and he kind of guided me through it, talked me through it. It wasn't like a hugely strong craving, but it was a craving, and I know it was the evil one trying to get me to go back to my old lifestyle. It's just not going to happen. Now, there's so many things that can trigger us. Whatever your addiction is or your mental health issues, we can so easily be triggered by a person, place, or thing. And what I usually do, like I said, I haven't been triggered in a while, but what I usually do when I'm triggered is I reach out. I reach out to my sponsor or a sober support and tell them what I'm feeling, tell them what I'm thinking. And I also pray, like, really hard. God, for me, it's alcohol. Please don't let me pick up again. For other people, it could be drugs or gambling or anything. And God really guides me and helps me through it, and He puts people right in my life at the moments I need them to also talk me through it. But I know for me, my aunt is such a huge trigger. I mean, she's been a trigger for me for a long time. She's too much like my ex I ran away from in another state. She's very narcissistic, not a nice person, and everything is always about her. And now that she has dementia, it's even worse. Like, it's getting bad. Like, she'll be in a great mood until I walk in the room. And then the tears start, and the, oh, you put me in here starts, and it's upsetting. It is very upsetting. And I know part of it is because I'm the one she's closest to. But the problem is, she's my aunt. I love her. I don't like the way she acts. I never have. But she is my aunt, and I love her. But she's also my biggest trigger. So the other thing I want to talk about is how, to try to avoid triggers and also setting up boundaries. Now, when she had broken, she had fallen back in, I think, April. Yeah, it probably was around April, and broken her pelvic bone. And so I was in almost every day, pretty close to it, seeing her. And that's around when my major depressive episode started, where I got to the point where I just wanted to stay in bed. I didn't want to get out of bed. I had to because I was seeing her, but I didn't want to. And I'd get done seeing her, and I'd come home and go to bed. So I was missing groups, missing meetings. Just didn't even want to talk to anybody, to be honest. And, I prayed, I talked to God about it, and I noticed that once I started setting boundaries again with her, where I wasn't going in every single day, I'm starting to come out of the major depressive episode. and it does help. I am back in counseling. God put me with someone who is faith-based, and I'm very grateful to her. And we've already recovered that I still have anger and resentment that I thought I let go of. But what do you, like, I'm going to ask other people out there, how do you avoid, like, if you know what triggers you, how do you avoid it? Or if you are triggered, like, what do you do about it? I've already said, I reach out. I will confess, though, I did not do good about reaching out when I was in my major depressive episode. I didn't want to drink, which was the weird thing, but I didn't want to do anything. I didn't reach out to my sponsor. I just was in this weird place that I couldn't, like, my brain wouldn't connect. Like, I knew things I was supposed to do, but I didn't do them. Not because I didn't want to do them, because I physically, mentally, emotionally, I just couldn't face anything. I would say the way, like, for me, I avoid triggers. If I try to avoid triggers. I don't go to bars. I don't go out to eat a lot because alcohol is served there. Obviously, I try not to be around people who drink a lot, and I've done really good at that. But the trigger that I have, which is my aunt, I can't avoid. I can't just abandon her. I can't walk away from her. So what I've done is to set up boundaries. I've cut down the days I go to see her to 2 or 3 days a week, and if she keeps up the way she's acting, she's probably going to cut down to 2 days a week, because I don't want to fight with her. I really don't. But she sets me off, and until my counselor and God can dig deeper into what is going on, I'm trying to be very careful. But I do set the boundaries. The other thing I do now, if she starts getting negative, if she starts getting mean, I leave. I walk away. I just walk out. I tell her, I'm sorry you're feeling this way, and I'll see you another day, and I leave, because I won't put up with it. I can't, keep doing that with her. And I've given her scripture, I've given her prayers, I've talked about, how my life isn't going according to the way I thought it would, and I've openly told her, I expected to be either engaged or married to my former boyfriend, and either moving to Texas or already moved to Texas. And that didn't happen. That was not God's plan for me. God had different plans, and now I'm just so grateful for the plans He has for me, because the plans I have for me obviously are wonky, and they don't work, and they don't bring me joy and peace. And even with the health issues and my aunt triggering me, I still feel joy and peace. I do get anxious, and I do talk to God about that and pray about that. My anxiety has been bad, so I've been digging at my skin again, and I'm working on that. But avoiding the triggers. So if you get triggered by crowds, don't go to things where there's a lot of people. If you get triggered by other people drinking, even if it's your friends and family, don't do it. Don't go if they're holding, say, a family gathering and there's drinking and it's going to make you want to drink. Don't go. The family will have to understand. If going out to eat and seeing people drink triggers you, don't go out to eat, or go to somewhere where alcohol is not served. I'm trying to think what else could be a trigger. A casino. If casinos make you want to drink and gamble, don't go to them. I know I'm making it sound very simple, and it is harder than I'm making it sound. I mean, when I first got sober, the first Christmas I was sober, I got triggered by my former boyfriend about something, and I had to walk away from him because he took me to a grocery store, he and his daughter, to help me shop. And I walked away and I literally was ready to ask him to stop at the liquor store so I could buy booze. I was so close, and that time I did reach out to my sponsor and texted her and said, I want a drink. And my sponsor is awesome. She says, she texts back, think about what your life was like when you were drinking. And I thought about it, and she says, and do you really want to go back to that life? And I'm thinking, she's right. I don't want to go back to that life. So I didn't pick up. And I was able to go. One cousin had a Christmas Eve thing, and they were drinking, but I was able to go to that and not drink. I asked God to help me through that because I really wanted to be with my cousins and celebrate Christmas with them. So they gave me flavored ginger ale, which was awesome, tasted like a Shirley Temple. And then Christmas Day, same thing. I went to my other cousins, and they were having wine and stuff, but I didn't even crave it. They gave me flavored ginger ale. It was awesome. And we had an awesome time. And it was so great to be sober and to be able to do that. The first year after my 1 year of getting sober, my friend's daughter got married. And, I was a little concerned. Well, let me backtrack. The bridal shower, I was invited to that, and I was worried because I was afraid I'd get triggered to drink because I was in a place where there was alcohol, but thankfully I was not, and my friend was with me. So if I did, she was right there. And then her daughter's wedding, I did not get triggered either. I happily had a Shirley Temple and was happy with my Shirley Temple because it brought back memories of my childhood. So, but if you are triggered by all the things I mentioned, then definitely, if you can, excuse me, I have to get a drink of water, sorry. If you can, avoid the things that trigger you. If you can't avoid those triggers, set boundaries and trust in God. Trust in God to help you get through those things that are triggering you, and ask Him to remove those triggers. Ask Him to remove that craving. I hadn't craved in a long time. That was the first one, was for all of 5 seconds. And it wasn't a hugely strong craving. It was thinking, geez, I want to drink. And then the thought of, no, that's not a good idea, because, like I said, God has blessed me with this life I have now that I'm so grateful for. I don't want to destroy that. I don't want to ruin that. Here's Ziggy. Ziggy, say hi to everybody. That is Ziggy, who is on my lap. He's one of my babies. The other one is sleeping on top of the kitchen cabinet. But that was Ziggy. And I'm sorry. My brain is kind of all over the place right now, so I apologize. It's kind of wonky. I see my doctor tomorrow, and I see my counselor again next week. But I'm up. We'll talk about mental health another time. Right now, I really want to do triggers. If you can avoid the triggers, then I recommend you do. If you can't, like if you have a relative like my aunt who set you off, set up very firm boundaries. Have a plan. Have a plan for when you get triggered. I had a plan, when my friend's daughter got married, and at the bridal shower, and at my first Christmas, being sober, to reach out to my sponsor, to reach out to my sober support, leave if I had to leave. Then I would leave. And having that backup plan is a lifesaver. And trust, asking God, if you feel like you want to drink or do drugs or gamble, whatever your addiction is, in that moment, if that craving is that strong, reach out, but also reach out to God. And beg him, ask him to remove it, remove the craving. When I first got sober, I did that quite a bit because I did have cravings. And he has removed my cravings. Like I said, yesterday was the first day that I've even wanted a drink. But I'll tell you, my faith, as some of you know, because I talk about it a lot, has really, really kept me strong in my recovery. I think without my faith, I would not have gotten through my mom's death. I would not have gotten through that. But my faith did. And I hadn't, well, I'm sorry, I was triggered in December, but I have not craved since then. Like in December, I craved strong and really wanted to go back out. I wanted a drink, but I didn't. I didn't reach out. Well, I did, and I didn't. I didn't reach out to my sponsor like I should have. That's what I should have done, and I didn't. But I did post something on our alumni, platform, and thankfully the alumni coordinator at the time reached out to me and talked me through it, and I did not pick up. Plus, I was also in my pajamas, so I was too lazy to get dressed again, and I asked God for help as well. And that's when the alumni coordinator called me. So God has a way of coming through for us, even if we don't always see it. So that is my talk on triggers today. I'm sorry, I've been all over the place. My brain really is going in a lot of different directions. But, thank you for watching. For those who have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. If you like this video, and again, I apologize, I'm not a real smooth speaker. I just say it from my heart, and that's where it all comes from. But if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. I encourage you to leave comments as long as they're polite. I'm definitely not doing this to argue with anybody. I get that enough from my aunt. And if you have recommendations for maybe other things you'd like me to talk about, please feel free. I welcome it. I'm glad, I'm grateful to all who watch my videos. Sorry, my train of thought derailed again. And I hope to see you again. I hope you'll come back. You can also check me out on Instagram. I'm Kelly M. Trenholm. Guys, I hope you have a super great day, a super Sunday, a blessed day. Please pray for me because once I get this done, I'm going to see my aunt. So I may be making another video later, who knows. But I hope you all have a blessed day. And I love y'all. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.